All righty, folks, let's have a conversation about buy downs, right? 3-2-1, 2-1 buy downs. Are they worth the pain and stress? Should you be getting them? Should you not? Are they a scam? Somebody actually called them a scam yesterday. So we're going to talk to Matt, the mortgage guy. Is a 2-1 buy down a scam? Is it just doesn't exist? I'm not really sure why somebody would call it a scam, but I don't know. Maybe they're just a hater.
I'd be interested to hear, because I mean, I'm the type of guy that I want to hear everybody's opinion, whether I agree with it or not. First and foremost, buy downs, I don't know how they would be labeled a scam. They're fairly simple, where they're taking money, generally speaking, 9 times out of 10 from a seller and a seller credit, and subsidizing your mortgage payment, either in year 1 or in the first 2 years, sometimes in the first 3 years. And so in an environment where rates are high and it's making affordability a problem, and also in an environment where people expect rates to come down, if not, in the next 12 months, at least in the next 12 to 36, let's call it in the next 3 years, they expect rates to be lower. Then if you're tracking like I am, give me the 5.49 for 12 months and the 6.49 for the next 12. And then by the time 24 months rolls around, I might be in position to get something better than a 7.5.
Maybe.
And
but you're protected. So I don't, dude, you know this. You have a YouTube channel. There are so many haters out there that are just negative and doomers. They probably live in their mom's basement. They're bitter at the world. So it's not a scam. It's a legitimate mortgage product. You're essentially getting the seller to prepay interest. To me, what are you doing? You're protecting the downside. Everything I do in investing in my career was always protecting the downside. What do I mean by this? Going in what the highest interest rate will be for the 30 years. It's not a variable loan. If you think a 2-1 buy down is a scam because it's a variable loan, you don't understand. Yes, the rate changes, but it's because the seller kicked in some cash that's going to prepay a bunch of interest for year 1 and year 2.
Right. Yeah, that's worth clarifying, Mike. It's a 30-year fixed rate loan. And then for the temporary part of the buy down, whether it's the first year, the first 2 or 3, your payments are subsidized. So it's essentially like you're getting a discount, 1%, 2% in rate. Once it gets to that start rate, let's call it 7.49 for this example, in year 3, if you did a 2-1 buy down, years 3 through 30-year fixed rate, 7.49 will not adjust. So it's not an adjustable rate mortgage. It's a 30-year fixed rate mortgage with a temporary buy down in the first year or 2, however it's structured. And really, like, I'm the guy that has all the mortgage products. And as a mortgage broker, I present and I say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, based on your scenario, here's a couple different options. When they see it and they go, oh, you know what? I'd love it if my payment was $2,500 and then $2,750 and then $3,000 versus getting in the $3,000 payment month 1. They choose that. And the good news is we're in a market, almost any market you're in, where asking the seller to kick in for this buy down is really, really easy.
Yeah, it is really easy. It's frankly what new home builders are using. And they're just burying it in their closing statement to get people to buy. It's how I bought $1 million home. Is the builder? I wouldn't have bought it. I would not have bought the home at a 7.5% mortgage rate. But the builder said, you know what? You're not going to buy it at 7.5. You're going to buy it at 4.99. I said, really? Tell me more. So I got a 30-year fixed rate mortgage and $10K in closing costs and a discount, and we bought a 7-figure home. So we put our money where our mouth is. We closed on that, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 weeks ago, something like that. So
So for people listening, I want to say a couple things too, just because it's only on primary residences. So sorry, I know I'm going to get the questions. Trust me, I've gone direct to the source. I've asked Matt Ishbia from UWM. I've asked people as high as I can get. Can we get the same type of temporary buy downs for investment properties? The problem is the max seller concession by Fannie and Freddie on investment properties, 2%. With that, you're not going to do much more than a 1.0 buy down. And so that's part of the problem. But Investment properties, not eligible, sorry. So it's going to be your primary residence. Like all mortgage products, we don't know if the 1-0 is best, the 1-1, the 2-1. It's going to depend on your scenario, where the property's listed, what condition it's in, how much credit you can get, all those other things. So more than ever, Mike, I've been trying to prep people, get them pre-approved, and then say, connect with us when there's a specific property, a specific price that you think that you can negotiate, and let's tinker with the numbers and find a solution that works for you in your specific scenario. Because I can't just give out a template and say, here's what's going to work for everybody. Everyone's situation is different. And so, anybody who's worth anything on the mortgage side, like me, I want to have those conversations. I want to talk to people and structure it. And that's the difference between a mortgage pro and someone working in a call center, quite honestly, is like, you might win with the structure of the debt. That might be the win. Sure, you're going to get a discount in price. Sure, you're going to get seller concessions. The real win for you might be that financially, this is structured in a way that benefits you, the buyer.
Amen. Couldn't have said any better. Folks, 2-1 buy downs, 3-1 buy, whatever they are, whatever the buy downs are.
All the buy downs.
All the buy downs are fixed rate loans, at least the ones that I've seen. They, generally speaking, are seller concessions. Think of them as prepaid interest. And there's not one size fits all answers. So again, you got to work with a professional that's willing to look at multiple scenarios, that's willing to ask you questions. Matt, if they wanted to reach out to your team, how would they do that?
We're more than happy to help you. We're in 48 states. Go to greatmortgagebroker.com, fill out the quick form. We'll connect you with the team. One last thing. If you get 24 months of temporary buy down, meaning the first 2 years, and you refinance after 14 months, one of the best functions of the buy down is those extra 10 months that you have sitting there in seller credit gets refunded to you, the buyer. It's a principal reduction, a principal pay down with whatever's left. So it's not a sunk cost. It's not gone forever. So get yourself pre-approved, get yourself in a position to win, whether you buy this month, next month, or next quarter. Greatmortgagebroker.com.
Thank you, buddy.